First big league hit for Chourio. First big league homer for Jackson Chourio.
The Grand Slam crew. Chourio flips the scoreboard with a 4-pointer. Base hit. Ball game. Jackson Chourio with his first career walk-off.
Gone! A 3-run shot from Jackson Chourio.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Verilux. We have a great one for you here in Milwaukee between the Brewers and the Cubs. And we cannot talk about the Brewers without talking about Jackson Chourio. He had not taken a single major league at bat when the Brewers gave him an 8-year contract. And he has made that look like one of baseball's biggest bargains. Last year in the postseason, we saw a glimpse of his superstar power, and in June, he's taken it to another level. He has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball this month, and the Brewers have certainly played like they are one of the hottest teams. They own the best record of the majors since his return from injury. So what's the secret? Chourio said it's actually pretty easy. He isn't someone who gets caught up in advanced analytics or overthinking every at-bat. He told the media, listen, I'm someone who is very simple. When I go out there, he said, I just know what that pitcher has, and I keep it easy. I do not overthink at the plate. And when I spoke with Brewers manager Pat Murphy about Chourio, he said he has a ceiling similar to that of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And if that's not praise for his young superstar, I don't know what is. Around the corner, we'll have your first look at lineups and first pitch from Milwaukee. The Stars are out, and we've got a rivalry game on deck for you when we return.
The Cubs and the Brewers to kick off the division series. And the hit parade continues. 6-1 Milwaukee. Andrew Vaughn ties the game with one swing. A 3-run shot from Jackson Chourio. Pete Crow Armstrong delivers. And the Cubs have the lead. Ian Happ takes Freddie Peralta deep for the second time in the series. Bryce Terang, his biggest swing as a Brewer. Ball game over. The Brewers will play for the pennant. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Verilux lenses. A rematch of last year's NLDS. The Cubs at the halfway point, 81 games in the books, 6.5 back of first, sitting in a wild card spot. But can they overcome their rivals to the north? Milwaukee has been the better of the two teams ever since Craig Counsell took that drive down I-94. And of course, the Brewers got the better of the Cubs in last year's NLDS in 5 games. The Cubs slugging first baseman Michael Busch, standing by on the field with Trisha Whitaker.
All right, Michael, we look forward to this rivalry. Fans look forward to this rivalry, but can you describe this rivalry in your own words?
Yeah, it's a good one. Two really good teams going at it. First time we've been in Milwaukee this year, so I think Milwaukee fans bring a little extra juice for the Cubs.
You have had success against Miz, who is on the mound tonight. You guys know how tough he is. Describe what it's like facing him.
Yeah, he's good. Obviously, he's got the velo that not many people have. But yeah, it's always nice when you get to see some guys, but still a really good pitcher. I'm going to have to really bring it tonight, just top to bottom, grind out some at-bats.
Appreciate the time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Trisha, highly anticipated showdown in the NL Central as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by BetMGM. The Cubs featuring Dansby Swanson, an 11-game on-base streak. Those 15 runs batted in the last 4 games, a 440 on-base percentage during his on-base streak. And he's still in the 9-hole, and they will face Jacob Misiorowski. A year ago this month, Spilly, Jacob Misiorowski made his major league debut. 5 starts into his career. He was named an All-Star. Now he's the front runner for National League Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, I love the trajectory of Jacob Misiorowski. Let's spill the beans on him today. Miz around and find out nobody throws the ball harder in Major League Baseball than the Miz and the Cubs. 1 for 22 on fastballs over 100 miles an hour. And Summerfest, Miz has turned into the biggest name in baseball. He is the headliner. We know the next 3 weekends in Milwaukee, you have these great concerts. And so tonight, on a Friday night, you got the main headliner right now in the Miz. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. Give you an idea of the stuff. The boxes does not tell the full story. You got the big 4-seam fastball, the slider, the cutter, but it's his extension and it's the vertical attack angle which he releases the baseball from. All the guys that have faced him this year, they say the same thing. His fastball is the best one in baseball, and it's not just because of the velocity, it's all the unique attributes of extension and where he releases the ball.
When they first met this season, the Brewers trailed the Cubs by a game and a half in the division. They swept the Cubs and have not trailed in the NL Central since. First place Brewers, second place Cubs. Both hot coming into this series. Chicago has won 10 of 13. Milwaukee has won 8 of 12. And Jacob Misiorowski on the mound for Milwaukee. He'll face Pete Crow Armstrong to begin the night. And it's swung on and missed. 103 miles an hour to light the fuse.
So it's 103 miles an hour, Alex, but with the extension, it's really closer to 106, 107.
That's that perceived velocity, 104.
So that's 107. I mean, he is pushing the limits of what we think a human can throw a baseball at. I don't know if he could throw it much harder.
And you don't have as hot a hitter in baseball, really, as Pete Crow Armstrong, who is trying to catch up to the heat right now. 105, and that draws an ooh and ah from the crowd.
I've never seen a 105.5.
That's a new velocity record for Misiorowski. And you can see how it's forcing PCA to just try to shorten up any way he can.
Well, you can't even take a normal swing. I mean, Pete Crow still has a leg kick. He's timed up. I mean, that's just barely touching the baseball.
He fights this off. Nearly put it into a dangerous spot up the first base line. Everything over 100. Everything over 102 for that matter to begin the night.
You go to the trajectory of Misiorowski, where he grew up outside of Kansas City, a little small town, went to Crowder, which is a junior college, and then was part of the Major League Baseball combine and was touching 100, and the rest is history.
Got him. And the off-speed stuff gets it done. A 90-mile-an-hour curveball.
It's just impossible to cover 10 miles an hour in separation. It really is. You're either on the fastball or you're going to be early on the off speed.
Alex Bregman now.
And even for home plate umpire Nick Lentz, I mean, it's not easy to call balls and strikes when you have a guy throwing like this.
It is Misiorowski's 16th start. He has the best ERA in baseball, leading baseball in strikeouts, whip, hits per 9, homers per 9. Second in the National League in strikeout to walk ratio. Oh, 0-2 to Bregman.
Oof.
It is violent, the sound into the glove.
That's
William Contreras.
And the thing is as hard as he throws strikes.
That's his first one out of the strike zone.
I remember a couple of years ago in Washington National spring training, there's a sign. It says, "I don't care how hard you throw ball 4." Miz throws hard and he throws strikes. And if you go back to that Philadelphia Phillies start where complete game shutout, 15 punch outs, 95 pitches, which is a Maddox, he didn't have 1 3-ball count.
Only needed 95 pitches to go all 9 and get 15 punchies.
Crazy.
Is that the hope for the Cubs, is that you can foul off pitches, drive up the pitch count, get them out of the game early?
Yeah. I mean, good luck. I mean, on the other side of it, though, you know, Pat Murphy and the Brewers, you got to be careful about the workload. I mean, you're hoping for the long game here for the Brewers.
2-2 to Bregman. And he works the count full.
That's one of the things this Cubs offense does really well. They will take their walks. They're the best team in baseball as far as working walks.
Bregman's gone.
This is 103.3 miles an hour, and the perceived velocity is 106.
Weather report presented by Ricola. Oh, you're back to singing this week.
I feel it.
Roof is closed here at American Family Field. Chilly day. Michael Busch. And he takes strike one at 103. Busch has started to reach base more frequently of late. And he grounds one to second. Bryce Terang gobbles it up. And it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Mizorowski as the Brewers come to bat. Off by Christian Yelich, and tonight's starting lineups are presented by BetMGM. Brewers featuring Jackson Chourio hitting .421 at home in the month of June. That includes 6 home runs in 9 home games. They will face the former Brewer in Colin Ray, who makes his 13th start, looking for his first win since May 28th. Though he did throw 5 1/3 scoreless his last outing, and on the first pitch, it's Yelich punching this one to right. A leadoff single for Christian Yelich.
Yelich, top of the lineup. It's good to see him back, healthy. I mean, where the Brewers go, Christian Yelich goes. And this lineup, even though you don't think about the name recognition, there are some unbelievable players just because of the market, maybe not getting the love. Christian Yelich is one of my favorites.
3-time All-Star with an up-and-down season. A little bit of a streaky year for Jackson Chourio as well, though that batting average is pretty solid at .296, no doubt. Top 5 in baseball in the month of June, and runs batted in with 22 this month. Ray, who in his last outing mentioned he pitched a solid 5 1/3 scoreless, got a no decision in that game. He retired the first 12 batters he faced. Not so here tonight. Pitched twice in the NLDS last year against his former team. Chourio grounds one softly to short. Swanson charges, fields, and throws. Not in time. Chourio beats it out for an infield single.
This is exactly what the Brewers can do to you. They're not going to swing and miss a ton. They put the ball in play, and they can run. Ball off the bat with 74 miles an hour, but Chourio, who has all the tools in his tool belt, just beats it out.
I'll bring up Bryce Terang.
Oh.
Top 5 in the majors last year, runners in scoring position, and his batting average. And he lays one down. Off the mound is Ray, and he'll get the out at first.
You're watching Brewers baseball. This is it, right? Single, single. Bunt for a possible hit, but also move both guys up. And now you have second and third. It's the first inning, and already the Brewers are knocking on the door of a crooked number. Now, Turang is doing this on purpose. This isn't a sacrifice bunt. He's trying to bunt for a hit, and the worst case scenario is both guys move up.
21st sack bunt for Milwaukee. Third most in baseball.
This play is made by Michael Bush at first. I mean, that is a tough throw. If that goes any more up the line, you have a problem.
So some traffic here for William Contreras, who's top 10 in the National League in average. One of the top hitting catchers in baseball. One of 3 Brewers players on the WBC championship winning team for Venezuela, and you'll notice he is decked out in Venezuelan colors after the devastating earthquake there this week, wearing the Venezuelan colors on his catching gear as well here today. Tricia had an emotional interview at the pregame show. He and Jackson Churiel both with heavy hearts right now. You can also see it on his eye black. He has a message for his home country. Let's spill the beans quickly here on Colin Ray.
All right, Code Red, that is a nickname for Colin Ray, and they're going to need him, especially after the series against the Mets. Bullpen is taxed. At Corner Tap Room, 2 or more strikeouts if you are in Cascade, Iowa, across the street from Cheryl's Flower Garden Bakery. There's a strikeout. You will get a free drink on the house. So if you are at the Corner Tap Room in Iowa, home of Colin Ray, you're in a good spot. Well, here's that fastball, and he gets a big punch out. Second and third, one out, you need a punch out. Colin got it.
That's a big one. Jake Bauers now fouls this straight back. Bauers, who's top 10 in the National League and on base this year, and a team high 14 homers. He and Contreras went back-to-back Wednesday against the Reds, and what wound up being a 3-game sweep of Cincinnati. Reds continue to be in a tailspin after it looked like they were going to flirt with contention in this division. Bauers has been so good with runners in scoring position this year. Career year for him.
Well, overall, this Brewers offense with runners in scoring position has been one of the best in baseball. And a lot of it just has to do with their ability to go line to line. They're not going to outslug you.
Caught a glimpse there of Pat Murphy in the dugout. You will not see him out of the field today, despite the fact that he's here after back surgery, yesterday. Just shocking that he's even here, but he was in a lot of pain the last couple weeks, and good to see that he's feeling better after a ruptured disc. And Bauers will take his base, loading him up here for Andrew Vaughn.
Well, talking to Craig Counsell before the start of the game, the big challenge for Counsell is they're short on pitching. He had a doubleheader. He had 3 games in 2 days. The bullpen, extra innings. They need Colin to get deep into the game.
Milwaukee, the best team in baseball with the bases loaded this year, hitting .376 as a team. And Vaughn gets a piece of this. Quickly behind 0-2.
And you know this too, Alex, if the Brewers could take a lead with Mizorowski on the mound, just scoring a run feels like a mountain to climb.
especially given the Cubs and where their bullpen is at. They really need innings from Colin Ray. I got rained out earlier in the week against the Mets, so a doubleheader on Wednesday. Had to play again yesterday. A lot of tired arms out there. Craig Counsell was telling us earlier today it almost feels like he's managing in a playoff series because of all the arms he's had to use lately. One-two, and Vaughn stays alive.
Good.
4 fastballs and a sweeper to Vaughn. We had a pinch hit 3-run double in the 7th against Cincinnati on Wednesday. And Vaughn rounds one to third. Handled by Bregman, and the inning is over. The Brewers leave the bases loaded, and Colin Ray escapes the jam.
Well, as you know by now, on the off day, Brewers manager Pat Murphy had surgery to repair a ruptured disc. Take a look at this picture. Yes, that is what they removed from Pat Murphy just 24 hours ago during surgery. And he is managing the game right now from the tunnel. He is not in the dugout. He's not going to make mound visits, but it was very important to him for him to be here, guys. He's 67 years old. That is superhuman. He was supposed to have hip replacement surgery over the All-Star break, but they're going to have to reschedule that for the offseason because with the surgery he just had, it just won't work. But yes, yesterday on the off day, he drove to Appleton, Wisconsin. The surgery took about 2.5 hours. The doctor told him that he would walk out of the hospital, and that he did, and he is here managing the game despite having surgery, guys.
That's wild. When we walked into his office, yeah, he was just standing, greeting us as usual.
Yeah,
no problem. He was supposed to have a procedure done last year on his hip, pushed that back to this summer, and then with the back surgeries, pushed that back even further now. But wanted to be here, as Tricia noted, for his team.
Last pitch, 101 miles an hour, right on the edge. You see how close Miz's misses are. Now, Seiya's had some good swings against the Miz.
Mizorowski had 12 pitches of 102 or more in the first, 9 pitches of 103 or more in the first. Both records for an inning. Full count to Seiya Suzuki. Got him. 3 Ks already.
I mean, he's just messing around with hitters. This is a 98-mile-an-hour cutter. You're geared up for the fastball, and it just moves out of the strike zone. I mean, you're so geared up, out of hand to be ready for fastball, and then he puts a little wrinkle in it.
Now here is Ian Happ, switch hitter batting from the left side. Craig Counsell told us prior to the game that the most mind-blowing stat from what Mizorowski does is the fact that he strikes out about half the left-handed hitters he sees.
I mean, usually a lefty against a righty has a clear-cut advantage, but if you're watching right now, the way that he's positioned on the mound on the first base side of the rubber and how he turns his back, you can't pick up the baseball.
Ground ball up the middle. Cooper Pratt, the rookie, is there. 2 gone in the second. Mizorowski, the youngest opening day starter for the Brewers since Ben Sheets in 2002. And the youngest for any team with double-digit strikeouts on an opening day since Felix Hernandez in 2007. And the accolades have continued to build from there, all leading up to that 15K performance that has vaulted him into the lead in the NL Cy Young race. Nico Hoerner batting here. Hoerner among a handful of Cubs who seem to be turning the corner for an offense that absolutely needs it. A lot of high-paid hitters in the middle of this order between Bregman and Swanson, who's in the 9-hole, and Hoerner signed a big extension coming into this year.
Well, Nico's one of those rare players where he walks more than he strikes out. Strikeout rate at 7%. And now the Miz is going to go for a punch out of Nico. I mean, the amazing thing is Major League hitters are the best in the world at timing up a fastball. And he still can't time up Miz's fastball.
Hoerner shoots this foul, just trying to stick the bat head out there. He's one of the tougher guys to strike out. Such a great contact hitter. Hoerner barely stays alive. 103.
I mean, it makes me giggle because we're sitting upstairs and I'm not in the batter's box, so I don't have to face this. Whenever you're facing high-end velocity, you want your body to try to do the least amount of work as possible. You want to be quick, but not efforting. But you can't help it when you have velocity coming at you.
Hoerner strikes out. 4 in the first 2 innings for Mizorowski. Filthy. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV is presented by Essilor. Learn more about Verilux XR series and find your local Essilor expert at Essilor.com. And in part by Gusto. Hire, pay, and grow your team with Gusto. Alex Faust, Ryan Spilbergs, Tricia Whitaker here with you. First pitch swinging for Garrett Mitchell. 7-8-9 due up here for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Colin Ray and the Cubs, they wiggled out of the first inning jam. And now for Colin, hopefully he can settle in second inning. Woo!
Ray is looking for his first win since May 28th.
Oh.
Both teams carrying 4-game winning streaks into today. Greg Council's bunch finding ways to win, and then the offense coming to life. Mitchell strikes out.
There's a fastball up. Mitchell's trying to hold back. He can't. So that's 2 strikeouts. Tap room in Iowa. Ground on Colin Ray.
Ball 1 inside here to Cooper Pratt.
Yeah.
Another one of these rookies signed to a lengthy contract before making a major league debut. Brewers are familiar with that. Making his debut in the major league level June 16th. Former 6th round pick out of high school in Mississippi. Jackson Churio, of course, signed a lengthy contract, as this is line into left over the head of Ian Happ. Pratt with a one-out double and his first career extra base hit.
That's always great to see somebody's first. Now, Pratt defensively has been great. When he gets a little off-speed pitch, burns Ian Happ in left field. Ian Happ's an excellent defender, so you get a chance now to see the swing of Pratt. Ball 102.4 miles an hour.
He's made an impression, 8 for 28 to start his big league career. David Hamilton, a 9-hole hitter now. Keep an eye on the bunt, although he was free swinging on the first pitch there. 8 sacked bunts, second most in the National League. And of course, he can fly on the base paths. Bregman playing a couple steps in on the grass at third. Hamilton acquired by the Brewers this offseason. Trade sending Caleb Durbin to the Red Sox and Kyle Harrison to the Brewers. Hamilton chops it up the middle. Swanson to his right. Nice play on the move. It moves the runner over. And there are 2 gone.
It just gives you an idea of the awareness of Dansby Swanson at shortstop, because he does not have time. You get the chopper, he knows already. He's like, I got to get rid of this baseball as fast as possible. He ends up getting him by over a step. Nice play.
Lineup turns over here to Yelich. And Yelich rolls over on one. Easy play for Bush on a ball that stays fair. And the inning is over. No score after 2.
Actually, I got a little pocket pancake right here that I munch on.
Is it a quesadilla, Pat?
It is. I've got a special guest that I want you to meet today. Didn't want to pull out pancakes.
So you pulled out a turtle.
Pocket turtles.
Oh, we have pocket turtles.
Murph is one of a kind. That's for sure. Good to see Pat Murphy at the ballpark.
Yeah, I'm just glad he didn't eat the turtle. It's actually a tortoise.
Which has found a home. Everybody can calm down after we saw that earlier this year. Tricia put a lot of legwork in to sort that out.
Hey, Tom, you can't see the clock. Thank you.
Nick Lentz making sure everybody can see the pitch clock as Carson Kelly bats here. 6 up, 6 down for Jacob Mizorowski.
Hey!
Milwaukee Brewers looking for a 4th straight division title, 2 of which have come with the 2-time NL Manager of the Year at the helm in Pat Murphy. On the ground to short. Pratt makes the play. A couple moments ago during the break, Tricia Wicker caught up with Pat Murphy. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, Pat Murphy, you are here managing the game. You're sitting in the tunnel after surgery. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. Yeah, thanks. Doctor did a great job. Yeah, I'm just thankful. Yeah, I feel much better.
Pat, usually you bring me things in an interview, but I have something for you, a little bit of comfort food.
Is that right?
That I thought you might want.
Oh, pancake.
Just to pay you back a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you. This is getting a little worn out, isn't it?
I took a bite. You got to take a bite.
All right, very good. Thank you for that.
You're so welcome. All right, last thing for you, baseball question. Miz, what are you seeing from him on the mound? He seems to be dominating so far.
Yeah, he's pretty good. You know what I mean? He's not just using his fastball either. He's got other stuff to go with it. The Cubs know him. He knows the Cubs. It'll be a great battle. Colin Ray on their side doing a great job also.
Enjoy the pancake, Pat. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys.
All right, Tricia. I only got one question. Did Trisha bring syrup?
Apparently not.
No, I have syrup. No, I have syrup in my pocket, guys. We were just a little bit rushed, you know.
Okay.
I can't be on the field while the game's happening, but there is still syrup. You know, Alex, thank you for reminding me, because if I didn't take that out, it could get ugly. Yeah, no, I have syrup.
Can't do the pancakes without the syrup,
No.
especially in a state like Wisconsin. Come on.
Yeah, but he'll do it. You
That's
remember
true.
he ate a quesadilla with syrup on it. Come on, this is a
I
man who
remember
brought me
vividly.
a tortoise. I think he'll eat a pancake without syrup.
Mizorowski falling behind Matt Shaw here, 2 balls and a strike. And now 3-1. It's an official ballpark food now.
Pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
I always like seeing a house divided. You got a Brewers fan with a Cubs fan.
Plenty of Cubs red here in the stands. A lot of fans who make the trip up I-94. Though I will say, last year in the playoffs, Brewers fans, they showed out big time. And there was a lot of worry about whether Cubs fans were going to scoop up a whole bunch of tickets on the secondary market. That really didn't happen to the extent they feared. It's a great series. Went the distance last year between these two rivals. The first time they had ever met in the postseason. Good battle here from Shaw.
You might think he's slowing down a little bit. He's just pacing himself.
5 of 100 plus this inning. And he loses Shaw. A 1-out walk. And that'll bring up the red-hot Dansby Swanson, who has been mired in the worst offensive season of his major league career, but can get back to 200. Seems to be turning a corner. He was near the bottom of all baseball in terms of qualified hitters when the series against the Mets began this week. But he grounds one here to short. Pratt the flip for one. On to first. Double play. 6-4-3. Chicago Cubs, what a roller coaster ride it's been. Best record in baseball through May 8th. Offense seemed to be clicking, and then they got stuck in neutral. But this week they probably picked the perfect opponent to beat up on, the New York Mets, who just made a managerial change.
Yeah, they sacked Carlos Mendoza. Has 3 managerial changes this season already. Saw with Boston, saw with Philadelphia, now you have the New York Mets.
A lot of managers and a lot of general managers seem to be on the hot seat this year. Jackson Chourio bats here for the Brewers. Pressure has never been greater. You see these segments of the season for the Cubs. This is a big year for them. They continue to pour money into this roster in the offseason. Very much in win now mode.
1-2.
But they did not foresee what happened to their starting pitching.
No.
Really threw a wrench into their plans. And you think about coming into this season, the Cubs seem to be in an incredible position. Their rotation was Steele, Horton, Boyd, Imanaga, and Tyone. Colin Ray and Ben Brown were starters converted into relievers. They had so much depth, and then baseball happened. Chourio flies one to right. Shaw underneath it, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. During the break, Trisha caught up with Craig Counsell. Our manager interview is presented by Sage.
All right, Craig, a scoreless game so far. I want to talk about Colin. He did get out of that bases loaded jam at the beginning of the game. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, I mean, I think Colin's pitching well. It was like an infield single and a ground ball single. I think he's throwing the ball really well. Stuff is good, and we need a good start from him, obviously.
Craig, you're close friends with Pat Murphy. Was there ever any doubt he'd manage a game after surgery like that?
No, there wasn't. I mean, he's been through a lot health-wise, and he loves being here. This is his life, and I'm glad he's here.
Craig, thank you so much.
You got it.
Guys, back to you.
Well, Milwaukee's very own Craig Counsell, who still lives in the area.
It is funny when they announce the lineups. They show, they're going to boo every Cubs player that they announce, and of course, when Counsell's face goes up, it was the loudest of all the boos.
This is stroked down the line, foul. Counsell's still the winningest manager in Milwaukee franchise history.
You also can't blame him for the opportunity that he took with the Chicago Cubs. I mean, he'd been here for a long time. He knew the Brewers were in a good place, and he had an opportunity, and he took it.
Off the hands, and Horner is there. When Counsell signed with the Cubs, it was the richest managerial contract in baseball history, and it came just a couple months before David Stearns announced that he would be leaving the Brewers to work the front office for the Mets. Bryce Terang here. At the same time, there were a lot of hurt feelings here in Milwaukee. Mark Atanasio, the owner of the Brewers, said at the news conference afterwards, "We're all here today because we lost Craig. But I've reflected on this. Craig has lost us," he said.
Well, and the Brewers have been dominant over the Cubs. So, I mean, as much as the Cubs have tried to build their organization to win the division over and over again, it's the Brewers that continue to do their Brewer things.
What's up?
I mean, you think about the trades that the Brewers have made in the last couple of years to sustain this winning culture. You trade away a Corbin Burns, you trade away a Josh Hader, you trade away a Devin Williams, Freddie Peralta.
Ball.
And they keep getting players in return, and they get better.
2-2 here to William Contreras. And Ray unable to paint the corner.
What's up?
I mean, just look at this last year. I mean, the trade for Caleb Durbin, who was awesome last year, that was part of the trade for Devin Williams. It turned it into Kyle Harrison, and you can make the argument the best 1-2 punch right now from starters is Jacob Mizorowski and Kyle Harrison. That's the best 1-2. And you can argue with me about Zach Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez or whoever else, whatever other pair, but the numbers back it up.
Milwaukee has seen a lot of big names leave in recent years, but to your points, Billy, it's what they get in return and what they have seen that few others have. Nicely worked walk by William Contreras with 2 outs to keep the inning going. Quinn Priester is an example of that. Unfortunately, he's out for the season, thoracic outlet syndrome. But he's another guy that was tossed aside by 2 teams, only to become a dominant force as a pitcher for Milwaukee. There's Jake Bauers. Bauers up the middle. To his right, it's Horner, and he'll make the flip to Swanson to end the inning. Still scoreless here in Milwaukee. Courtesy of BetMGM, the odds to win National League Cy Young. Jacob Mizorowski, the runaway favorite, even after that long shutout streak from Christopher Sanchez, which seems to have been forgotten quickly. Mizorowski still in the early stages of his baseball career as the lineup turns over to Pete Crow Armstrong. Take a look at some of the candidates for NL Cy Young.
This could be one of the hottest Cy Young, races we're going to see, just because of the numbers people are putting up. Don't fall asleep on Chase Burns either.
I wonder if the voters are going to take into account the type of team that he's pitching on. I mean, we saw Paul Skeens a couple of years ago. That didn't matter as much. But especially on a first place team here in Milwaukee.
And Pete Crow Armstrong right now is probably thinking to himself, he's like, this guy isn't real. This is not a normal pitcher that you've ever faced in your entire life.
Armstrong holds his swing, no challenge on a pitch near the zone.
He's had a couple pitches. This last one, 103, you could challenge. He probably would have got it right. He's had a couple pitches that were balls that you could have challenged.
Ball.
Another close one. And Contreras
Pitcher
wants
the
it.
ball. Catcher is challenging. 3-2.
Did he pick correctly? ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
The call confirmed. Milwaukee has one challenge remaining.
Yeah, Contreras probably should have gone for the pitch before that one.
3-2.
Full count here. Broken bat for Crow Armstrong. Mizorowski off the mound, and the play is made by Terang. Charging that slow roller. Pete Crow Armstrong hustling up the line, but the out call is signaled.
Yeah, he gets his bat blown up, and Terang does an unbelievable job to make it close. I think the Cubs are thinking about challenging until they watch the replay, and they're not. Going to play from Terang. And the only reason why Pete Crow Armstrong didn't get out of the box fast is because as soon as you get your bat blown up, you're stuck. You can't finish your swing.
Yeah. You see the screen on? Yeah.
Bryce Terang, Platinum Glove winner. As the best overall fielder in baseball a couple of years ago. Hard hit ball to third. David Hamilton. 2 gone.
Well, for Jacob Mizorowski, to give you an idea, just where his fastball four-seam compared to the rest of the league, it is so much greater. And it's not just velocity. You can continue to hear me say this. It's the extension. So he's throwing 100 miles an hour, but he has the biggest extension in baseball, which means he's releasing the pitch closer to home plate than basically anybody else.
Tricia?
Here we go.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Pete Crow Armstrong about Miz before the game. He said, you don't even have to have a hitter's meeting to see that he's an absolute freak. He said, hopefully we don't get a lot of fastballs today. Guys.
Don't think he's going to get his wish. 102 to Michael Busch. Start off Busch's second at bat.
Clean, thank you. You all right? You miss it?
No balls and 2 strikes. .104 popping the glove out of the zone.
This is what I want to show you. So you see him go down the slope. This is what creates the extension, but also the release point. All that makes him so unique. He's a unicorn.
Fly ball left side. Churio, long way to run, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Mizorowski has faced the minimum through 4. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses, along with the former Colorado Rocky Ryan Spilbergs, Trisha Whitaker down to the field. Alex Faust here with you. We're joined by Brewers starter Kyle Harrison. Kyle, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me on, guys.
8-1 on the season. You are off to quite the start to your year. How do you feel it's gone on your end?
Yeah, I'd say, we're not even halfway there yet, so it's tough to say, but it's just been the everyday grind and trying to get better each and every day. And you guys know it's a long season, so it's just trying to be as consistent as possible each time you go out there.
Murphy talked to us before the game about your opportunity here with Milwaukee and how you've really taken it and run with it. You started your career with San Francisco. Obviously, you were with Boston last year, but what has Milwaukee done to you as far as getting the best out of you?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's been simplifying a lot of things, taking a look at my delivery and figuring out what I need.
Diving catch by Shaw to come up with this ball, taking a hit away from Andrew Vaughn.
Really nice play in right field for Matt Shaw. He was normally an infielder, but he's got the chance to play defense with Seiya Suzuki. And Kyle, unfortunately, that was a really nice play.
Yeah, you hate to see it. Yeah.
Tell me about, you've bounced around a couple teams in the last couple of years, Kyle, and it seemed like you found instant comfort here in Milwaukee. What is it about this team, this organization, that seemed to be a good fit for you?
I think they just do a great job at seeing you for who you are, and then realizing what stuff you need to do throughout the week to kind of be on top of your game. And, Hookie and Jim, Sandy have done a great job with me, learning about my delivery, being consistent, staying on me during the week. So, yeah, I think they know the player and get the best out of them.
On the ground here from Garrett Mitchell. Swanson makes a fine play of his own. 2 defensive gems from the Cubs here. 2 quick outs.
This is really fun to watch between these two teams. Defense is always on display. Kyle, I want to ask you, one of the changes you made that's noticeable is just an increase in your arm angle. How much of that is being part of this organization, maybe getting to the pitching lab, or how much of it is just overall health?
Yeah, I think that was something that they talked with me about, not like intentionally trying to raise the arm angle, but it's like finding that consistency, right? Knowing when I'm going to be on time in my delivery, knowing what that feels like, reps on reps. So, it's getting an understanding for yourself and then applying that to the game.
What's it like watching your teammate Jacob pitch?
Oh, it's incredible. I'm the night after him, so I always joke, I'm like, man, how am I going to ever blow a heater by these guys when they just see what they're seeing? So, no, he works so hard, and I'm just so happy for him. He's such an incredible talent, man.
I've heard he has a fun personality, too. You guys nicknamed him Forrest because of that kind of happy-go-lucky Forrest Gump kind of disposition, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's the goofiest with the best of them, so, he embraces it, and we all love him for it.
Did you get him any Pokemon cards? I heard he's a big fan of those.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's trying to get me into it. I'm like, I'll see.
It might be worth it in the long run just because the market for being able to sell them. I'm curious, from your perspective, with Pat Murphy being back after having back surgery, did you bring him a gift today?
Oh, no gifts. He probably would have thrown it away, So I don't know what to get that guy, but no, good to see him moving around, and no gifts though. I don't know if you'd like that per se.
Kyle, we appreciate the time. Keep it up. Way to go so far.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle Harrison, who is 8-1 on the season, 24 years of age, a lefty for the Brewers, part of this outstanding pitching staff. Cooper Pratt here, the batter.
Well, Pratt last at bat got his first major league extra base hit, a double. Colin Ray's been excellent.
And with good reason, a lot of focus on Mizorowski and what he's done, but even with the early traffic for Ray, got out of a bases loaded jam in the first. Only the double to Pratt in the second. That's the only other hit for the Brewers.
And Collins had a crazy baseball odyssey, and that the sport has taken him everywhere. He's had 2 turns in Japan. He came back. And talking to anybody about Code Red, his nickname, they all just adore him.
On the 9th pitch of the at-bat, he's going to win the battle against Cooper Pratt. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the first time tonight for Colin Ray. Formula One is back this weekend. Max Verstappen looking to defend a win at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Lewis Hamilton going for back-to-back victories. Full coverage of the Austrian Grand Prix Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern on Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One. Good pitchers duel as we thought it might be. Jacob Mizorowski and Colin Ray. Mizorowski has yet to allow a hit. He has faced the minimum through 4. And he faces Suzuki, Happ, and Horner here in the 5th. First place Brewers and the second place Cubs. Both have won 4 in a row coming in.
Well, the Miz today is throwing a lot more cutters than he normally does. And part of the reason why is with this Cubs team, they're not a huge strikeout rate team. They will be able to put the ball in play. So he's throwing a little wrinkle.
You see the triple-digit pitches by inning. Already 14 of them of 103 plus, another personal best through 4 innings.
And in hearing about Mizorowski this offseason, one of the big changes he made was working on his lower half, the strength in his legs. Added about 15 to 20 pounds, and it's carried over. You know, for last year we saw him, he looked like a baby giraffe. Now he's more like a juvenile giraffe.
Still a giraffe.
Still a giraffe.
What's the last time on this field was that record-setting 1-hit shutout 2 weeks ago? Suzuki, fly ball, deep center field, way back there, and gone! Seiya Suzuki runs into one. And the Cubs strike first.
Now, Seiya Suzuki, he could care less about the Miz and the velocity. It's the second time in his career he's hit a home run off the Miz. Last year in the postseason. And this just goes to show you the power of Seiya. You can see a little off-speed pitch. And Suzuki, I mean, he just deposits it.
First hit of the night goes 409 feet for Chicago.
Corner right there.
He's the only player in baseball with multiple homers over Mizorowski, regular season and post. 11 plus games since the last homer he allowed.
There's that breaker. That's just such a pretty swing from Seiya. 11th homer of the year for him.
75 and a third innings without a long ball. On a 3-2 count. Seiya Suzuki with his 11th homer of the year. And for the second straight hitter, Mizorowski has fallen behind. Happ holds his swing. It's ball 4. A leadoff homer. And now a walk to Happ. And that'll bring a visit from Chris Hook. Let's go back to the NLDS. Mizorowski, first career postseason appearance, and Suzuki took him deep early in that game.
Oh, so the exact same spot. I guess if there is anybody that's a Miz whisperer, it's Seiya Suzuki.
Mizorowski wound up pitching 3 innings in bulk relief of that game 2, and was credited with the win in that game. There was a lot of early offense from both clubs. Suzuki, who has had fits and starts, and he's battled some injury as well. Delayed start to this season after a sprained knee in spring training. Again, dealt with some knee discomfort in the last couple of weeks. Tapered off in the second half of last year. Still finished with a career high in 32 homers and 100 runs batted in, but quieter second half. He was a key bat for them in the postseason, getting them to the division series. Nico Horner here, and Horner pops it up. Shallow right field. Bowers coming in, and Terang going out to make the catch.
Come out.
It's kind of funny just seeing Brewers fan after the home run. It's like, wait, someone actually hit a homer off this guy?
A 3-2 slider at a pedestrian 90 miles an hour. Carson Kelly takes inside.
Well, you were asking earlier, how do you have an approach against a guy like Mizorowski? Well, the Cubs are showing you. And they're forcing him in the strike zone. They're fouling off a lot of pitches. And now you see the Miz right now is battling his command.
Got one in on the hands on Kelly. Really, that's the biggest change for Mizorowski year over year. He's throwing more strikes, because you saw a lot last year where as fast as he was throwing, he'd pile up walks and his pitch count. That's down the pipe.
Yeah, this year it's a 6.5% walk rate, which is an excellent number. It's below league average.
2-2 to Kelly. And he fouls it straight back. Ian Happ off first. Does have 4 stolen bases on the year. Short lead. And that's ball 3. Cubs have been strong. The bottom third of their order. Second best OPS from their 6 through 9 hitters in baseball, behind only the Dodgers. Kelly is fanned. Strikeout number 5 for Mizorowski.
That's the first strikeout since the second inning. Mizorowski goes to the cut fastball away, the pitch that looks like a strike, and then it comes out of the zone.
On the corner at 99 to Matt Shaw, former first-round pick of the Cubs. And quickly 0-2. Shaw, who was bumped to the outfield to accommodate Alex Bregman coming aboard at the beginning of this season. Coming off a solid rookie year last year. And this gets away from Contreras. That'll give Happ 90 feet.
For Matt Shaw last year, you talk about a strong season. It wasn't at first. I mean, it was a real struggle for him. He gets sent down to the minor leagues and then comes back. There's that cutter away, getting away from Contreras. Now you're looking for a hit with runners in scoring position, which has been a challenge for the Cubs all season long.
This is their first at bat with a runner in scoring position tonight. Shaw walked in the third, but was erased on a double play. Happ walks here in the fifth, and he's standing at second with 2 out. And a 1-2 from Mizorowski is grounded left side. Hamilton cuts it off, fires on the run in time to end the inning. But Seiya Suzuki runs into one and hits it deep to right center. Cubs are on the board first here in Milwaukee. Returns for a second season. Snoopy and the Beagle Scouts exploring, while Charlie Brown and the gang experience classic summer camp adventures. Apple TV is the exclusive streaming home for Camp Snoopy and all things Peanuts. Summer camps in full swing across the country. As we hit the bottom of the 5th inning here in Milwaukee. Cubs are the leadoff homer in the 5th from Seiya Suzuki, out to a 1-0 lead. The Brewers, though, plenty comfortable and playing from behind. In fact, they're the only team in baseball with a winning record when conceding the first run.
And usually when you look around the league, if you see a team score first, the winning percentage is usually close to 70%.
Up the middle, base hit for Hamilton to lead off the 5th. A wide turn at first base. With a throw on the money, getting the ball back in, and the leadoff man is aboard.
Hamilton gets a changeup and just rips it right back up the middle. And with Pete Crow Armstrong in center field, you see Hamilton. He gets out of the box. He's thinking maybe 2. But he knows better. In center field, he got one of the best arms and one of the best route runners.
Hamilton, of course, a big-time base-stealing threat. 16 of them on the year.
And this is what makes the Brewers' offense so unique. They have the ability to score runs without hitting home runs.
That's 2 disengagements without coming home for Colin Ray. Hamilton is just outside the top 10 in the majors in stolen bases since the start of 2024.
So Brewers offensive ranks are 2nd in the majors in on-base percentage. They're 5th in stolen bases, but they're 28th in home runs, and it all leads to 4th overall in runs scored.
Well, that's the big question for the Brewers, who got to the NLCS last year. Can that formula win you a title? Because it's proven it can win you the division, it can get you to the postseason. They finally broke that long drought in winning a playoff series. Can it get you the ultimate prize? The irony is that when they beat the Cubs last year in the NLDS, it was via the home run mostly.
You got to hit homers in the postseason. You also have to punch tickets. And the Brewers pitching staff, they can punch your ticket.
There goes Hamilton. Pitch a strike. Throw on one hop. Skips into center field. And Hamilton will take off for third. And that's the chaos that these Brewers can create on the base paths.
17th stolen base for David Hamilton. Great pitch to run on that second disengagement. He got a bigger lead. And you see Carson Kelly just trying to get rid of the baseball too fast. Doesn't make a great throw. And Dansby Swanson does everything he can, trying to prevent it from going in the outfield.
E2 puts Hamilton at third. Infield in. And Yelich strikes out. Big K for Colin Ray. His third. And a first out here in the fifth.
Yeah, it's another big strikeout with the runner in scoring position. Had one of William Contreras in the first inning. And by the way, one more punch out. Free round all around in Iowa, Cascade, Iowa.
Here's Jackson Churio. The infield still in. And he pops it up. Shallow right. This won't be deep enough to get the run home. Two unproductive outs for the Brewers.
It's just fantastic pitching from Colin Ray. This guy's battle tested. When you can think about his journeys all over this baseball world to play.
Brewers are now 0 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. Even though they swept the Reds this week, since Monday they are now 1 for their last 29 with RISP. Big cut from Terang.
Come, you got it.
Colin Ray is doing wonderful work under pressure.
Yeah, all eyes are on Miz, but Colin's just been under the radar, getting big outs.
Terang is gone on 3 pitches.
Another round in Iowa.
Cubs still lead 1-0. Telecast is presented by Authority. The Office of the Commissioner of Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Pat Murphy and Craig Counsell through the years. Once colleagues, now adversaries.
Well, Counsell and Murphy have known each other since Counsell was a teenager. I mean, the great story is Murph was at Notre Dame hitting ground balls to Craig Counsell his freshman year. It was basically a walk-on at Notre Dame. And I've asked Murph, I was like, when did you know you had a big leaguer? He's like, Craig Counsell. I'm hitting him ground balls, hit a ball that takes a bad hop, breaks his nose, taking grounders. Counsell leaves the field, comes back a couple hours later to get more grounders. And Murph says, that's the first time I knew I had a big leaguer on my hands.
Well, they've been close ever since. They described their relationship as a 3-decade-long conversation about baseball. Craig, of course, still lives in Milwaukee.
1-2.
spending this series at home at his house in the area, Whitefish Bay. Swanson is fanned. As Zarowski with his 6th K.
Again, gives you another idea, just the extension, you're geared up for fastball, and then he throws a wrinkle at you.
You could probably parse out who's booing, who's cheering for this guy. Pete Crow Armstrong, who's behind on a heater. Let's go back to our spill the beans from earlier.
Yeah, we talked about Mizraround and find out with the fastball. Well, Cubs have not hit the fastball. It was an off-speed pitch that say a Suzuki hit. And then Summerfest, we talk about the headliner. Miz is the headliner in Major League Baseball right now. 5 1/3, 6 punch-outs. As good as advertised.
And only one mistake. PCA batting here.
How about third bottom?
Trying to keep up his on-base streak, a career-high 27 games. 2nd longest active streak in baseball. And he fouls this straight back.
I had the pleasure of watching him with the reverse cycle last week. I was there for that. First at bat, home run, triple, double, and then a single. And when he gets locked in, man, I mean, look out.
Half swing, another strikeout. 2nd time the Miz has fanned PCA.
Well, he gets to the fastball up and into a lefty, which is basically kryptonite. Most lefties, they want the ball middle and down. There's only a handful of lefties that really like a pitch up.
Alex Bregman here is 0 for 2. Just the 1 hit for the Cubs. Leadoff homer for Suzuki in the 5th. Colin Ray on the other side, pitching a gem. Hard hit ball to left. And there's the 2nd hit for Chicago tonight, as Bregman has a 2-out knock.
Bregman's really been grinding, trying to get his swing locked in. This might help. 101 inside. He's always been a great pull hitter.
I'll bring up Michael Busch. Busch turning back to home plate umpire Nick Lentz. Declines the challenge.
And guys know that. I mean, if you're going to complain to an umpire, they say, challenge me. It's been probably the biggest benefit of the ABS system is that dugouts and players don't argue balls and strikes with the same vigor they used to.
Oh. I'm out.
Contreras is challenging.
Well, I don't think he's going to like the result.
Pitcher's calling the ball. Catcher's challenging. 2-1.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And Milwaukee is out of challenges.
Call confirmed. Milwaukee has no challenges remaining.
And on the season for Contreras, he's right around 56%. As far as flipping pitches, he's added 13 strikeouts, which is great.
2-1.
But now you got regular baseball for the Brewers, no more challenges.
Oh.
Busch held his swing on a pitch that may have clipped the zone. Or did he?
I don't think he went.
That's ball 4. 5-pitch walk to Busch. And the Cubs are threatening to add to their lead here in the 6th. Chris Hook out of the dugout. And remember, Pat Murphy does not handle pitching changes right now while he's trying to get his back in better shape. So we'll see what Hook does here. I think this is just a mound visit. And so while we have a moment, we'll take a look at this Adobe standout score from the Seiya Suzuki home run in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, just an off-speed pitch, middle away, 3-2 count. Second time Seiya's taking the Miz deep. And part of the reason why Chris Hook is talking to Mizorowski right now is, how do you want to attack Seiya Suzuki? This is the one guy that has put on good swings against the Miz historically.
Joel Kuhnel getting warm quickly.
Miz is at 94 pitches. And this is probably empty the tank right here. This is your last batter.
First and second, 2 out. Strike one right down the middle. .95 pitches now. And a ball on the strike.
And if you're Seiya right now, I mean, you do feel confident in the box against Mizorowski, and you're also probably really small with the focus you're looking for a pitch.
You good? Wrong, huh?
A piece of Contreras there. Batters are 5 for 48 with runners in scoring position against Mizorowski this year. Where does he go here? One, two to Suzuki. Popped up, right field. Curling towards the seats, and it will hit the screen. And that'll give another pitch to Suzuki.
Thank you.
We're watching Bowers give chase. He was awfully close, and it just ran out of space.
Another 1-2. And another foul ball. One more look at that ball that just barely reached the screen. Oh boy, caught security guard there, I think. Oh yeah, right off the noggin.
Hopefully he's all right.
Eesh. Didn't flinch.
Seiya's putting a great at bat together right here.
Seventh pitch coming. And it'll dribble past Contreras. Both runners move up.
Yeah, another cut fastball, and he's been just yanking stuff glove side all game. I mean, his misses have been very big misses on his glove side, and now 3-2 count to Seiya. This is a fastball count. If you're Seiya, you're looking for it.
Instead, it's ball 4. Borderline pitch. Milwaukee out of challenges, and the bases are loaded.
You're right. They were out of challenges, a pitch that might have gone their way. And it looks like Hook is going to leave the Miz out there for one more batter.
Happ, who bats from the left side. Strike one. Season high in pitches now for Mizorowski. After that walk, Chris Hook asking Mizorowski, you good?
The answer is yes.
Now 4 walks for Mizorowski in this game.
And the Cubs do that. Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning. This Cubs team walks more than any other team in baseball.
Season high in walks for Mizorowski now. Big swing from Happ. He can't catch up to it. 103. Mizorowski trying to get out of the jam as the crowd rises. Did it hit his bat? It did. Greg Counsell just wants to hold up for a sec. Right off the knob.
Yeah, you can see it for Ian Happ. He's choked up. Choked up about an inch and a half on his bat, so you have a little bit more barrel control.
Got him! Mizorowski escapes. Strikeout number 8. But his Brewers still trail here in Milwaukee.
Let's take a look at pitching decisions presented by Sage, and it's the first inning. You have William Contreras against Colin Ray with a chance to add on and add to the lead for the Brewers, trying to get a run. It goes sweeper, slider, sweeper, sweeper, and then the 4-seam punch out. And Ray ends up working out of it. Colin Ray has been unbelievable today. He has held the Brewers to no runs. He's been up against the ropes a couple times, and he's pitches his way out of it.
Brewers are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left 6 on base. They have not had multiple base runners since that first inning. Is Mizorowski on his way to another loss in a low-scoring game? Tricia?
Yeah, guys, you'll notice Contreras is wearing his WBC Venezuelan gear right now. And I did an interview with him before the game. It was emotional. He was in tears, speaking with me about the tragedy that happened in Venezuela, the earthquake. And it was important to him to talk about it. He said, they need us right now. We have to show emotion and support. He said, it's so sad, but we need to help them as much as we can. He's been posting on his Instagram asking for aid and asking for help finding some of his missing friends back home in Venezuela, guys.
Yeah, it's just an awful, awful situation. And we're thinking of so many in the baseball community who are hurting right now. Proud baseball country as Jake Bauers lays down a bunt foul.
You can only imagine. You're worried about friends and family overseas. And then you have to play a baseball game and try to clear the mind and just go out there and compete.
I remember we were in Houston at the beginning of the year. We were chatting with the bench coach, Omar Lopez, who managed the Venezuelan team. And the words that he spoke about his country were so poetic. There's so much love for a country that's been through a lot in the last couple of years, and this just adds to it. And we're thinking of everybody in Venezuela right now. Bunt likely taken off the board here with 2 strikes as Bowers takes low and in.
What's up?
One of the things that stands out about Colin Ray is he's used 7 different pitches tonight. The fastball's been excellent because it's been at the top of the strike zone, 70% for strikes with the fastball.
Two-two. And Bowers flies one to left, slicing towards the seats.
And Colin gets huge teammate points too. At the start of the year, he's been doing this. He buys his teammates, all part of the starting rotation, a belt with their nickname in it. So all the starters for the Cubs have a belt that Colin Ray has, and he has a nickname for them inside the belt.
He's been described as a glue guy for this Cubs team. Big for them in the postseason last year. Pitched twice in the NLDS, bulk relief. There goes the runner. Bowers holds his swing. And the first 2 are aboard for the Brewers in the 6th. Let's revisit our spill of the beans on Colin Ray.
Code Red, they have needed him to give some length, and he has, and his off-speed pitches are excellent. Brewers are 1 for 3 off of it. And then corner tap room. We talked about this in Cascade, Iowa, where he's from. Every 2 strikeouts, it's a free round. So he's got 2 rounds for Colin Ray. And he should get a good ovation from his teammates today.
And from the Cubs fans in attendance. We'll be right back. Which has seen a lot of turnover for the Cubs as they try to reconfigure the outgetters at Craig Counsell's disposal. Shelby Miller among them. Daniel Palencia is missing at the back end of this bullpen. Ethan Roberts comes in, and it's going to be all hands on deck. He pitched yesterday. Faces Andrew Vaughn here. Chance to do some damage. Get Milwaukee on the board.
In the case of Ethan Roberts, 3-pitch mix, cut fastball, sweeping slider, and a sinker. The sweeper is his best pitch.
Ethan Roberts, one of the handful of guys that stayed with Cubs in their bullpen the last couple of years. His 10 appearances at the major league level last season, and now his 22nd this year. Brewers are 1 for their last 30 with runners in scoring position. And Andrew Vaughn, a comebacker right at Roberts. He catches it on a line, throws to second for 1, and they nearly had a triple play. Ethan Roberts, tremendous reflexes to absorb that ball, and he gets 2 quick outs.
That's a great play, great reaction play. Hit right back at him from Andrew Vaughn, and then a good throw to second. You might have seen a triple play. Just gets to the side of it, forces Nico down. Nico wanted it.
Ball.
Huge play to retire Vaughn. Erase a runner. And it's Bowers at first for Garrett Mitchell. And Mitchell with a high drive. Deep right field. Way back there. Gone! Mitchell with a go-ahead 2-run homer. Just like that, the Brewers are on top.
That's Mitchell's 6th home run this season, and it's amazing how quickly things can change. A line drive to Roberts. You get the double play. You think one more good pitch and you're out of it. And then Mitchell spoils the party.
First homer that Roberts has allowed to a left-handed batter this year.
And kind of a no-doubter, too. He gets a pitch up, barrels it. You can tell right off the bat he knew he'd barreled it.
Oh.
Home runs have bit Cubs pitching all year long. It's killed their starters and their relievers alike.
That's probably my biggest concern with this Cubs team from a pitching staff standpoint is just they lack strikeouts.
They've allowed the most homers in baseball. One pitch from preserving the win for Ray. And instead, the Cubs are now behind. 3 balls and a strike to Cooper Pratt. And he's aboard. Bullpen's a concern for Chicago. They're 12th in ERA, but a lot of the other numbers are concerning. The injury bug has bit them there as well, especially the back end with Palencia being out. And boy, do they need a solid outing from their pen. He admitted to us earlier today, they emptied the tank yesterday to try and complete the sweep against the Mets, knowing how challenging today's game would be against the top pitcher in baseball, Jacob Mizorowski.
There's Ryan Rollison, who's been fantastic for the Cubs, healthy again.
Cubs lost Edward Cabrera, Ben Brown to the IL this week. Brown, of course, swingman for them. David Hamilton now with a runner aboard and 2 out, and the Brewers having taken a 2-1 lead here in the 6th.
Pratt at first has been perfect stealing bags. He's 4 for 4. And usually if you're a base stealer, especially with the guy at the bottom of the lineup, you want to take off in the first 2 pitches. Ideally, you're going on the first pitch.
Hey!
Pratt deciding to stay put. There he goes. And Hamilton with a hit and run on fouls it back. This Brewers team that led the National League last year in steals, top 5 again. Hamilton strokes this one to left. Tough play, and it's down for a hit. Pratt around third. Hamilton with a triple. 3-1 Milwaukee. Ian Happ made an all-or-nothing dive and couldn't come up with it.
You can tell he's doing everything he can. 2 strikes. David Hamilton's second knock for him. You see Ian Happ, the Gold Glover. Oh, man, so close. And then he had to see if it was going to kick off and maybe get out of play. If it did, it would have been a ground rule double, and you'd have Pratt and Hamilton at second and third. Instead, they got a fortunate hop.
An RBI triple for David Hamilton. Second hit of the night, second triple of the season. And now Yelich gets a hold of one to right, but that'll be caught on the run by Shaw. Yelich hit it on the screws, but the inning is over. The Brewers get to the Cubs bullpen, and they make them pay. A go-ahead 2-run shot from Mitchell, and now the Brewers have a 3-1 lead. Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV, presented by Verilux Lenses. Alongside the 7-year Major League veteran Ryan Spilborghs, Tricia Whitaker down on the field, Alex Faust here with you. American Family Field in Milwaukee. The Brewers taking the lead. 3 runs in the 6th. Jacob Misiorowski, what a huge strikeout it was to leave the bases loaded in the 6th. With the Cubs threatening, and now the Brewers head to their bullpen, and Abner Uribe. First pitch, what a contrast. Wipeout slider.
Well, Uribe still has big-time velocity. It's at 98 miles an hour. You see Jake Bauers now at first. Sal Frelick is hitting right.
Tapper from Horner. Tough play. Hamilton makes it look easy. 1 gone here in the 7th. Uribe is back from a 1-game suspension stemming from this a month ago against the Cardinals. Very demonstrative.
Very. And it caught Murphy off guard. Pat Murphy. And you see Murph comes out and he was like, hey, we don't do that here.
Milwaukee appealed the suspension. That was back in May. It took over a month for it to be sorted out, and after pitching 4 times in a 5-day span, the Brewers and Uribe eventually accepted the punishment. Some might say convenient timing.
I remember a couple years ago, I was talking to Christian Yelich, and he goes, hey, Spilly, if you're a hitter, you do not want to see the bullpen doors open up and a guy wearing a blue glove. Because when the blue gloves come in, it's over.
Breakout season last year for Uribe, who led all of baseball in holds, was a strong number 2 option at closer. Trevor McGill has really reasserted himself as the Brewers' top leverage arm. Another soft ground ball. Hamilton charging again. Got it. 2 gone in the 7th. Let's take a look at our game summary and cap off the night, presented by Blue Moon. Jacob Misiorowski gets through 6 with 1 allowed.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. I mean, you saw the velocity tonight. He touched 105.5. The last pitch of the game for him, and with the strikeout of Ian Happ was 103.
All in all, the 4 walks are the biggest blemish. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 allowed, 8 strikeouts, and the only true mistake, the homer to Seiya Suzuki.
This is funny. So David Hamilton at third base makes an incredible running play, but watch Uribe try to get out of the way. I don't know if he's playing hide and seek, but we can see him. He's right there.
Hey, you got to take all precautionary measures. Pinch hitter here for the Cubs, Michael Conforto. Chicago dipping into their bullpen, or into their bench rather, all of a sudden in need of some offense again. Well, that had been a subplot to this game with Mizorowski on the mound. Is all of a sudden the Cubs have found some offense. Pete Crow Armstrong obviously red hot this month, though. He's 0 for 3 today. Dansby Swanson, who's on deck, did a ton of damage against the Mets with those 15 runs batted in over the first 3 games of that series.
What's up?
Ball and 2 strikes from Uribe. Taking a look at the Brewers bullpen ranks this season.
The strikeouts per 9 is that contrast, with the Brewers, and the reason why they're, a game away from getting to 50 is the strikeout. They have the ability to do it.
Broken bat flare, and this will drop for a 2-out hit. Conforto able to float that one in the shallow center for a pinch hit single.
Well, one of the big things with Conforto, he's always taking a professional at bat. Being able to have somebody come off the bench that has some pedigree and some numbers and knows how to hit. So there's the bloop. Now you need the blast.
Well, Swanson has finally gotten the monkey off his back. Or is it a blue whale, as he called it? He asked after hitting a homer to break a long drought last Wednesday, what is the biggest mammal in the world? So he figured, okay, it's that. Hard ground ball, diving stop by Hamilton. They'll go the short way to end the inning. 3 putouts for Hamilton. What an inning defensively. Smoothly handled. And the Brewers lead as it's time to get up and stretch.
Let's talk Jackson Chourio. This June, he has taken his game to another level. He's been one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball, and he's led the Brewers to owning the best record in the majors since his return from injury. So what's his secret? For him, it's actually pretty easy. He isn't someone who gets caught up in advanced analytics or overthinking every at-bat. He told the media, I'm someone who is very simple. When I go out there, I don't think too much. I'm just thinking about going up there, hitting the ball hard. And he said, I like to know what pitches the guy has, and then I just keep it simple. And guys, you heard Pat Murphy before the game. He said, I think Chourio has the ceiling of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's some praise.
Yeah, and again, we've talked about it. There's no dancing around the fact that this is a smaller market. As you take a look at Jaden Murray, who's just come into the game, recently acquired by the Cubs from the Astros. But Chourio has all the makings of a superstar in this game.
No question. I mean, a career 284 hitter, 841 OPS. He's 22 years of age.
So Michael Conforto remains in the game for Chicago. Chourio has turned into a postseason RBI machine. 11 runs batted in his first 9 career postseason games.
one of the things I love about Jackson Chourio is his ability to go line to line. And for extra base hits, when you have the ability to drive the ball opposite field, it makes hitting so much easier. 16 non-pulled extra base hits.
And he goes there again. Chourio towards the corner. That ball is off the wall. Chourio with a stand-up double to lead off the home half of the 7th.
It's almost serendipity. We talk about his abilities with Tricia saying this guy has a ceiling of Vlad Guerrero. Fastball with 2 strikes. There's a non-pulled extra base hit. He flat out hits. I mean, he rakes. And he's 22.
Delayed start to his season. Missed the first 33 games after a broken hand. Bryce Turang now. Milwaukee still struggling with runners in scoring position. 0 for 9 now. And they've stranded 7 base runners. Dating back to Monday, they are 1 for their last 32. This for a team that is among the best in baseball, as Turang is behind 1 and 2. Milwaukee with a 3rd best average with RISP coming in. Two and 2 to Turang. Brewers looking to extend their lead in the National League Central. They were up a season high 7 games over the Cubs before Chicago polished off a 4-game sweep of the Mets this week. And Turang strikes out for the first out of the home half of the 7th.
As it reaches back, it throws a fastball 96 miles an hour up in the zone. And you get the chase.
Here's Contreras, who leads the Brewers in runs batted in this year. And Contreras with a fly ball to left, tailing towards the seats, and it'll reach the screen. Top 10 in the National League in batting average coming in. Since 2023, only 2 other catchers have more runs batted in than Contreras. Cal Raleigh and Salvador Perez.
That's the thing, you look around this Brewers team, they're just solid across the board.
What's up?
You have a guy like Chourio, you have a guy like Yelich. Watching Turang play it second. I mean, they're solid defensively, and they give quality at bats.
Contreras drives this one to left, and the Brewers extend the lead. A no doubt shot to make it 5-1.
And you know, for Contreras, as he's rounding the bases with a heavy heart, this one probably feels really special to him. For both Chourio and Contreras, both representing Venezuela, that's a special moment. There's a little off-speed breaker, and this one's never coming back.
.449 feet, the estimated length of that homer. That is what you would call a tater, as Bowers strikes out for the second out.
Another look at the home run from Contreras. Locks in that back leg. It's a little hanging breaker. Admires it. And then you got Bernie Brewer coming down the Bernie Chalet, which I don't know if you've ever gone down that slide before, Alex, but it's terrifying.
It's a great way to start hitting your deductible on your insurance, that's for sure.
I did it once as a player, and I got big time trouble. So I went during early batting practice, snuck up there, and went down the slide and got reprimanded. Stadium ops, my manager, yeah.
Tricia?
Alex, you guys mentioned it. That had to be a special moment for Contreras, and even more special, Jackson Churio was on base, a fellow Venezuelan. They both did that interview with me before the game about Venezuela and trying to help them in the tragic earthquake that happened, both with tears in their eyes. So you have to imagine that that moment meant a lot to both of them together today.
Yeah. No doubt. Frelick fouls another pitch off. Contreras represented his country proudly at the World Baseball Classic. Played behind Salvador Perez in the championship game. Only appeared in one of the 3 knockout stage games for Venezuela, but wanted so desperately to be a part of it, as did Jackson Churio, who, although he got hit on the hands and it wound up being a broken bone, played through the pain to play for Venezuela. Only after returning to spring training with Milwaukee, that pain just never seemed to go away, and they discovered the small fracture, hairline fracture. If it were the playoffs, they said he probably could have played through it, but they wanted to be cautious as Frelick goes the other way and keeps this 7th inning rally going for Milwaukee, their 3rd hit of the frame.
Another good quality bat for the Brewers, using the off gap. 2 strikes again. This is way up and off the plate. That gives you an idea of the hit tool for Sal Frelick. I had the pleasure of being on the radio call for the WBC throughout that tournament, and the emotion watching it from Venezuela when they won that tournament was real. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye from Team Venezuela, not a dry eye. And then you hear about how the country, small cities, small towns, some places they would find a television and they'd put a long power cord, and the whole community would rally around watching this game.
I go back to something Omar Lopez, again, the bench coach of the Astros, manager for Venezuela, told us that, Venezuela, so much attention goes into soccer from the national government in terms of support. This was a national game changer in terms of investment for baseball, because they saw how much it meant to the country. And never mind the money that the Federation is going to bring in now, but also national government support at the grassroots level, and to give opportunities to people in the game, coaching, players. Game changer.
And a lot of guys, I mean, when they're watching the World Cup right now, I mean, the World Cup is that WBC tournament, but on a massive, massive scale.
There goes the runner. Pitch low and in. Throw to second on one hop. Not in time. Frelick has a stolen base.
A big jump for Sal Frelick. Looks in. Throw is close. Carson Kelly made it close, but he does not pop off the bag. Came really close to coming off of it.
Big swing, and Mitchell is down on strikes. 3 Ks in the inning for Murray, but he gives up an absolute rocket. William Contreras, no doubter. 5-1 Brewers. Presented by Essilor. Learn more about Verilux XR series and find your local Essilor expert at Essilor.com. And by Hydrated by Liquid IV. As we welcome you into our booth here at American Family Field, Alex Faust, Ryan Spielberg's here with you. This had a lot of hype building into it. First and second place in the National League Central. Both teams playing well, and the Brewers again have the upper hand. 5-1 lead here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things for Chicago Cubs is coming in. You played a great series against the New York Mets. You know, got in late last night. You needed a quality start from Colin Ray. They got that. And they've, you know, against Mizorowski, they knocked him out after 6 innings. They haven't been able to get the big key hit. But even now, 4 runs, this Cubs team does not quit. Ashby's turned into one of the league's best relievers.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. His 27-game on-base streak is in jeopardy. 0 for 3. Denied of an infield hit by charging Bryce Terang in the 4th. And he has not hit a ball out of the infield tonight.
I love one of the adjustments Pete Crow Armstrong made, and it was courtesy of Alex Bregman. That has happened in early May. Pete's always been known as a high swing, high chase hitter, and Bregman pulled him aside. He's like, "Hey man, what's your approach? What are you looking to do at the plate?" And Pete didn't have an answer. He didn't have an answer for him. Bregman said, look for a pitch in your zone early, and then you can expand late. And he took it to heart.
Now he draws a walk. And now 28 straight games on base for Pete Crow Armstrong. Tricia.
Yeah, Alex, you guys were talking about Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate right now. He told me before the game at the beginning of the season, he was just fighting at the plate to get on top of his swing in the first month. He said he took out some extra movement in his hands, and he added in a little bit of a leg kick, and it made a big difference, guys.
Even then, Tricia, you know, over the course of this season, it took a little while for him to get it together, even though he saw some early returns from those changes. It wasn't really until he got put in the leadoff spot in late May that he turned it on. And granted, the numbers he's putting up are just silly right now.
Let's give you an idea of some of the changes for Pete Crow Armstrong. Early in the year, a little bit wider. That's where the hands are. And then in June, and this trickled in from May, you see he gets into a little bit more of an athletic position. The hands are rested. Leg kick is very simple. It's matched up to the timing. And now you can just tell, like, he's seen the baseball. That was an off-speed pitch on the left that he swung and missed. So the ball's looking bigger. He's far more relaxed. And he has a much more professional approach at the plate, courtesy of Alex Bregman.
Not only is he getting on base, hitting for power, he's also stealing bases. 18 of them on the year. When his on-base streak hit 23, he had 6 steals and 40 hits over that span. The last Cub to do that in a 23-game span, Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg, 1984. Leadoff man aboard for the Cubs in the form of their superstar center fielder. And a 4-pitch walk to Bregman. All of a sudden the Cubs have some traffic. Let's check in with Lauren Gardner in the studio. Other action from around the majors. LG, what do you got?
Hello, Alex. Let's get you out to Steel Town for the Reds and Pirates top 8 4-4 game here. Noel V. Marte takes a 2-2 pitch deep to left center for a 2-run shot to put the Reds up 6-4. That game is now final. Same score, my friend.
All right, LG. Well, the Reds needed that in a tailspin right now. They had lost 17 of 25 coming in. Pirates are now 4 games under 500 in the month of June. A lot of division play here leading up to the All-Star break. Brewers are in a stretch of 18 of 21 against the NL Central. This is a drive to deep center field. Mitchell tracks it down in front of the wall. PCA moves up to third. That's an important first out as Bush is retired.
Bush puts a good little charge into this. Back-to-back walks for Ashby. You have to come to the Cubs now. 98 miles an hour. There's Mitchell. Pico Armstrong tags up. Nobody out.
Ashby, the major league leader in wins. Yes, as a reliever. Lefty facing Seiya Suzuki here. Suzuki with a line drive up the middle. Mitchell, long way to run, tracks it down. PCA tags from third. He will score. Suzuki has driven in both Cubs runs tonight, and it's 5-2.
Now Cubs slowly digging into the lead. It's another quality at bat from Seiya. Little changeup, believe it or not, that's a changeup at 93.
And first pitch, it's Ian Happ with a flare to center, but Mitchell is there, an active inning for Garrett Mitchell. But the Cubs get one back. Got him.
The perceived velocity is 106. I mean, he's just messing around with hitters.
Filthy. Got him. Mizorowski escapes. Way back there. Gone. A no-doubt shot.
Feels really special to him.
The Brewers getting to the Cubs bullpen. Colin Ray was solid. 5 innings, 1 earned, and then he gave way to the bullpen, which has since allowed 4 as we take a look at our scouting report presented by Car Shield. A look at Cooper Pratt, the rookie for the Brewers, who's 1 for 2 with a double.
Yeah, I mean, it raised a lot of eyebrows this offseason when we saw the multi-year extension for a player that hadn't been in the big leagues and really in the minor league level didn't hit at a high level. But talking to people around the Brewers, they felt like, hey, this guy has a skill set that's very unique and can play a great shortstop. Kind of see his trajectory similar to Bryce Terang. And it's something the Brewers have done. We've seen it with Jackson Churio. You know, they try to lock in some of their young position players.
We've seen it around baseball. Smaller market teams trying to lock up younger talent on a long-term basis. Take a look at some of the scouting grades for Pratt. Remember Connor Griffin, shortstop. The Pirates also signed to a long contract. Different profile, obviously.
But in the case of Pratt, I mean, he's not asked to be the 3-hole hitter. He's played solid defense, steal bags, get on base. Had his first extra base hit today.
There's also another young Brewers position player under team control for a while, 21-year-old Luis Lara, who signed a 7-year, $31 million contract before making his debut. Popped up here by Hamilton. Happ makes the catch. Now all three of Churiel, Pratt, and Lara are under team control through at least 2033. It is a strategy.
It is. I mean, we've seen that with a couple teams out there. Atlanta Braves. I mean, they were able to secure Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies.
Churiel waiting on deck here as Yelich bats. Runner goes, pitch a strike, throw on one hop, diving play by Swanson to not let another one get into center field. And that's the 5th stolen base in the young career for Cooper Pratt. He's now 5 for 5.
Brewers just trying to get the run back from the top of the 8th inning, and they've challenged Carson Kelly. And a lot of the stolen bases, it's not on the catcher, it's on the pitcher.
Actually hit Pratt. Thought Swanson got a glove on it, but had it not bounced into Pratt, could have been another 90 feet. Yelich behind 1 and 2.
And it's amazing to think of Yelich's career, 1,788, 89 now career hits.
2-time National League batting champion. Boy, even with a 5-2 lead, you look at the RISP numbers here tonight. Could have been a lot worse for the Cubs. Missed opportunities to blow it open as Yelich flies one to left field. Pretty deep. That ball is off the top of the wall. It stays in play. Another run comes home. Christian Yelich barely missed a homer.
Oh my.
And Pete Crow Armstrong may have brought it back.
I think he did, and man, what an effort from PCA. Great at bat from Christian Yelich. There's no question he brought this one back.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been one of the best catches you'll see this season from anybody. What an effort.
That gives you an idea of the speed and the skill set. To time a jump like that, even attempt to catch like that, and to come that close.
I mean, he really is the best center fielder I've seen in quite some time. And I have the pleasure of watching Brenton Doyle, who was won back-to-back Gold Gloves for Colorado, but PCA just does things.
This is a fly ball towards the corner and foul.
Now, one of the things that stands out about Pete Crow Armstrong is his reaction time. He is usually off on the pitch the second it's hit, and then the athleticism. I mean, like, there's not a lot of center fielders that even come close to the wall, let alone have the ability to time, leap.
Churiel sends this one deep to center. PCA underneath it. How close was he in Happ to maybe playing this off the ricochet or making a catch?
Yeah, pretty close. I mean, if you're thinking about NFL tip drill. But I mean, that play saves a run.
Yep. Four instead of 5. The deficit for Chicago.
Well, and it's a mental change. I mean, 4 runs in the 9th inning, you feel like you have a chance with a grand slam to tie it up. 5 runs, it feels like a nail.
Cubs will have 6, 7, and 8 due up in the ninth. Trevor McGill getting loose along with Robert Gasser. Tarang is down on strikes to end the inning. Cubs down to their final 3 outs. The Brewers looking for a 5th straight win. The show 26 available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Switch. Rated E for everyone. And the MLB Journey to 30 sweepstakes presented by T-Mobile is the ultimate bucket list. Enter now for your chance to win trips to all 30 ballparks. MLB.com/journey to enter. How many takes did it take to get the putt on the mini golf?
Yeah, I nailed it. That's a UW Credit Union Plaza. It's right behind us in the concourse, and it's a fun game day experience. It was awesome. The slide was great. Little putt was awesome.
It's a fun time.
You could have lost me out there. I could have been out there for hours.
I don't doubt that. Ninth inning has arrived. Non-save situation for Trevor McGill as he enters the game. Nico Horner to lead things off for the Cubs, needing 4. Milwaukee looking for their 50th win of the season. They would join the Dodgers in the 50-win club, and it would be the fastest the Brewers have ever reached 50 wins in a season.
McGill, 6'8" right-hander, throws from a very high arm slot. It's fastball, curveball, heads up.
As things stand right now, Cubs 6.5 back. Cardinals, that young team, they got the 9 games over 500 on June 16th, but they lost 5 of 7 coming into today. Can the pitching hold up there? How will the young team handle adversity? And all the while, is Milwaukee just going to pull away with this thing in the Central? Today begins a stretch of 18 games in 17 days for the Brewers. For the Cubs, well, they're in a busy stretch as well. 14 in a 13-day span. And Milwaukee already 3-0 against Chicago this season. Going to be a payoff pitch here to Horner as McGill battles back, and Horner fouls another one off.
The thing is, with this National League Central, I think it's one of the tighter races just because of the pitching in the division. I mean, as much as Cincinnati's in a tailspin, they have pitching. They have a guy, Chase Burns, who's unbelievable. You see it with Pittsburgh and their pitching staff. And now Pittsburgh has the ability to score runs, which they haven't had in years past. So I don't think the Brewers are going to run away with anything with this division, because you have to match up against all these different teams.
Horner with a drive to center field, but Mitchell is there. One gone in the ninth.
And you also have to assume when we do see the All-Star break and trade deadline, my gut tells me Chicago is going to be as aggressive as any team out there. Just given the fact that their starters, the injuries they've suffered, the bullpen trying to add to it.
Jed Hoyer had some interesting remarks last week about how aggressive his team or any team will be at the trade deadline. And essentially he said, if a team is in line to get a bye to the division series, well, that then tips your hand. You're going to be aggressive because you already have a series in the books. You can set up your pitching. We saw it last year with the Cubs. Matthew Boyd throwing on 3 days rest, and Chicago basically having to scramble every single game to put together 9 innings. And even though Milwaukee was banged up, they had the upper hand by being able to map it out in advance. And they were without Brandon Woodruff, but got Mizorowski in for a game.
Go on.
A big woo. Brandon Woodruff came back. He looked unbelievable. Challenge heaters.
Yeah, he's been a big lift for this Brewers club. What a return he made to the Brewers rotation the other day after shoulder issues in early May.
And there's a chance he wasn't going to be here. I mean, they offered him the qualifying offer. They assumed he might have a multi-year contract available. Didn't go that way. Big Woo took his qualifying offer, said thank you very much. I love it here.
Count runs full here. It's Carson Kelly. Kelly stays alive. Meanwhile, for the Cubs, they got to figure something out with pitching. Otherwise, as good as they've been with this hot streak lately, it's driven by the offense, obviously, but they're having trouble finding pitching. They just made a trade on Wednesday, acquiring David Peterson for the Mets. He may start tomorrow. Actually, Craig Counsell was saying, because he went back to his house here, he gave Peterson the manager's suite at the hotel here in Milwaukee so he could have a comfortable introduction to the team.
Well, and I think that David Peterson trade is a nice trade for Chicago just because of the defense behind him. I mean, Peterson was part of a Mets team with he pitches a contact, has ground ball in him. That Mets team is doing nobody favors if you put a ball on the ground.
That was wild. 6 infield errors in the second game of that doubleheader Monday. What a battle here by Kelly. This will be the 10th pitch coming. Trying to stay alive. Cubs down to their final 2 outs. And Kelly with a hard-earned walk as McGill loses him. Conversation now with William Contreras. Trevor McGill had a bit of a shaky start to this season, but has reasserted himself as the late inning go-to for Pat Murphy and Chris Hook.
He was funny. A couple years ago, I had a competitive baseball team. My cousin works with the Brewers in their complex in Maryville. And so we got a tour, and the kids ran into Trevor McGill, and they were like, man, you're really tall. How tall are you? And he's like 6'8". And they were like, do you throw hard? And he's like, I don't know. I throw about 100.
Career high 30 saves last year. 10 this season. Wasn't 100% after a late season injury last year on into the postseason, but has come back healthy. Conforto batting here. They also get Jared Koenig back off the IL today, Milwaukee. And there you see McGill, and now he's improved as the season has gone on. Conforto pops it up a mile high.
No idea.
Mitchell
No idea.
makes the catch. Garrett Mitchell has made the last 5 putouts.
Yeah, he's been active tonight. He even had the big home run that gave the Brewers a lead. It was 1-0 on a Seiya Suzuki homer against the Miz. And then Mitchell spun the game on its head.
And most of this sellout crowd remaining here as they rise to their feet. Carson Kelly takes second as Dansby Swanson bats. Cubs haven't had many chances tonight with runners in scoring position. They're 0 for 3. They've left 6 on base. All of them coming from the 5th inning onward. If Swanson can keep this up and the Cubs can get some length from their lineup, it does change the conversation a bit. But for now, it looks like the Brewers are about to go to 4-0 against their rivals from down I-94. Swanson, fly ball, center field. Mitchell's got it. Game over. The Brewers have won 5 straight. And they extend their lead atop the NL Central.
You can see exactly why this team has 50 wins now. They're the 2nd team in Major League Baseball with over 50 wins, and tonight they just grinded. Colin Ray for the Cubs, he was great. Got the start with the Miz. You want to win the start whenever Miz is on the mound. But William Contreras, Garrett Mitchell, just grind you down. And they use the homer. It's not something the Brewers normally do, but tonight 2 huge homers for the Brewers.
The fastest they've reached 50 wins in a season in franchise history. Now 21 games over 500. Milwaukee has won 9 of 13. They're up 7.5 on the Cubs and the Cardinals. Pat Murphy out of the dugout a day after back surgery. Tonight's PNC play of the game, an emotional night for William Contreras. And a no-doubt homer, 449 feet, the knockout blow in a 6-2 win for the Brewers.
He started with the eye black. He had written messages for Venezuela, same on his chest protector. You know, we heard about the conversation he had with Tricia before the start of the game, him and Jackson Churio, and they are emotional. I mean, it's an emotional game. And give you an idea, a little hanging curveball, Contreras just destroyed it. 23-degree launch angle. Look at the apex, 82 feet, no doubter. Over the bullpen, 450. We round up around here.
What a shot for Contreras. In a game where the Cubs had a 1-0 lead. Colin Ray was pitching a gem. And then the bullpen gave way and the Brewers took full advantage. Tricia downstairs with Contreras.
William, what a moment for you. With a heavy heart today and a message for Venezuela on your chest. You hit a 2-run home run with fellow Venezuelan Jackson Churio on the bases. We know how emotional this day has been for you. What's on your mind right now?
Sí, es algo increíble. Vinimos a jugar hoy destruido. Pero es como lo dije temprano, esto es un trabajo, hay que salir a dar lo mejor de uno. Y nada, este juego se lo dedica a la gente de Venezuela.
No, it's incredible. Incredible that we're able to come out and play, somewhat destroyed. But like I said earlier, this is this is a job, and we had to come out here and we had a job to do. So this win goes out to Venezuela.
Can you tell me what's on your chest, what you wrote there?
Alguna palabra para que la gente esté conmigo, esté con nosotros, pidiéndole a Dios que nos ayude a nosotros, a toda la familia de nosotros en Venezuela. Y nada, que eso es solamente una palabra para inspirar, inspiración.
It's just words of inspiration to the people back in my country. Just words. It goes out to them, and yeah, it's just a message and a message to God to, not abandon us and not abandon our people and our family that are back there, in this moment in time.
You said this one is for Venezuela. What do you want to say to them back home right now?
Nada, que los amo, que me disculpen por no poder estar allá ayudándolos y que voy a seguir dando lo mejor de mí siempre.
That I love them and to forgive me for not being able to be there right now to help them, and that I'm always going to give the best version of myself for them.
We appreciate the time. Thank you.
As the entire team tries to send their best in a tough situation, William Contreras, you can tell how much it's weighing on him. But he was part of the story, one of the heroes for the Brewers. A 6-2 win over the rival Cubs here in Milwaukee. We'll be right back.